Hello everyone, it's Kenny with UglyTent. I'm back at my favorite place, my camp in the woods. You can hear some of the dogs barking. I just jumped, coming in, walking into camp, I jumped a bunch of deer, white-tailed deer, and they took off. So I'm assuming they went up the ridge, and that's why the dogs are going nuts. But anyway, back at camp, I'm going to do a shelter build here. We're going to use a lightweight shelter tonight that I got from One Tiger, so we're going to try it out. It looks really interesting. It's the, if you haven't seen it already, it's the Poncho shelter. It's actually a poncho that makes a shelter. When you wear it as a poncho, it's kind of a weird looking poncho, but it covers nicely. And when you set it up as a shelter, it's kind of a weird looking shelter. But I thought, man, I gotta try this. I believe it's called the Transformer. I'll try to do a separate review on it later on. But anyway, we're out here, we're gonna do some, just wanted to get a break from all the hustle and bustle. Thanksgiving's over, my belly's full, I need to lose some weight. Lots of pies and good food. But I want to get out here and relax a little bit, unwind before I go back to work next week. So thanks for coming along, hope you enjoy the video. So I was going to start building camp, but before I do that, let me give you a quick loadout here on what I brought. Everybody's always asking me about loadouts. So, got my gloves, got a UCO candle lantern, dump pouch. Inside this little bits and bobs, I've got a SOL. This is an SOL survival blanket. I've had this for years. You can reuse these things. They're like a champ. They're Mylar blankets, but you can refold them and reuse them, unlike the cheap Mylar blankets. So we'll use that for the bottom half of our shelter. I've got some sweet fire and some matches. I'm gonna try not to use them. Tissues in there, just odds and ends. Oh, look here. Special treat. Got some sandpaper for, close this back, a kooksa I've been carving on. So if you follow me on Instagram, you might have seen this in my post. This is an applewood kooksa I've been carving on for years. This has been in the basement. It's super hard now and dried, it's not gonna crack. I had another kooksa that I was carving on and it cracked. I got done with it and I thought it was beautiful and it cracked right down the center. And if you look, you can see there's a knot here and there's a couple other knots, and applewood has a lot of wormholes in it, so you gotta be real careful with applewood. And the thing I found out is you gotta leave it thick. If you leave it too thin, then it will crack or fall apart on you. So we're gonna make this try to make it a little deeper and finish up the handle a little bit, but I think I'm gonna leave the bottom heavy like that. It's kind of cool looking, but it also creates stability, keeps it from getting knocked over. So, and I have truly carved this with carving knives. I did not use any kind of drill or anything like I did in the last one. Last one I cheated, used a paddle bit and cut out the majority of it, then used the spoon knife. But this one has been all wood chisels, spoon knife, and gouge. I got a long gouge I used. So probably holds maybe 4 ounces. I'm gonna try to get it, if it can hold 6 ounces, I'd be super happy. But anyway, brought that along to work on if I have time. It's like it's getting dark on us quick. Got some birch bark that we're gonna use to build a fire. Got my toggle and cordage here to hang up my backpack the way Uncle Dave taught me. Uncle Dave, I mean Uncle Dave Canterbury. Alright, now let me lay it down here. Got my heavy cover canteen with water and canteen cup in here. Got a toboggan. Got the last bit of our MRE. There's the pound cake for breakfast in the morning, spaghetti and meatballs and sauce with a flameless ration heater, coffee for the morning. I have got handkerchief, spoon, spork, heavy cover spoon spork. Oh yeah, Tabasco sauce for the spaghetti. My light's in my pocket. I got a thing of hot hands. Nothing ever goes back in the way you originally packed it. Oh yeah. This here is the rock poncho line. So this is my blanket, my outerwear. This is all I brought. Of course, I'm dressed in layers, but this is my heavy jacket, as well as poncho liner, as well as blanket, camp blanket, whatever you want to call it. And it fits perfect in this little sleeping bag pouch on a VanQuest Mudcore. Got me a good heavy sleeping bag. It's going to get down in the low 30s, maybe a little cooler than that. So for us in this area, that's cold. And I'll be sleeping on the ground, so I'm going to use that. Here's the shelter. That's it. Thought that was pretty cool. Not much to it. It's a poncho and a shelter. Got some cordage, a pillow, more knife, my little seat that Rick got me, my buddy Rick. I'm going to throw that together so we can have somewhere to sit down. Get off my knees because I'm an old man. Spoon carving tools, or excuse me, kooksa carving tools. So there's a little gouge, and then my Morris spoon knife. And these things can be dangerous. You gotta be careful with those, especially at camp. I know my Uncle Bushcraft, he's probably saying, don't use that. And for our ground pad, we're just going to use a Thermarest Z pad. The reason I'm using this is because I can use it by the fire to sit on. I can use it to lay on. These things are, you don't have to worry about them popping. You know, they're not inflated. Got a great ground barrier. It's got a great reflective rating. Can't remember what this was, what R value this was, but it's pretty good for what it is. Also helps create the frame inside the pack. And I've got another pad too that I keep in here. This is my frame sheet that you can use for kneeling and so forth, which you can tell I've done that. So that's pretty much it. Over here I've got a grill. I'm not going to be using it. It just lives here. It lives on the outside of this. So I'll be using that another trip. Where I'm at on this trip, I'm not going to be doing any major hiking. So it just lives here also. That's my loadout. You know, not much going on tonight, just relaxing. But let's get this shelter up. Let's take a look at that. And I'm going to hang my pack from the tree real quick. Alright, so all it is a toggle. And I've used this for bow drill. This is my little spindle. And a piece of paracord about 6 foot long with a bow line in it. Wrap around the tree, bring it through, get it tight, make a marline spike, run it through. There it is. That's all there is to it. Now you got your pack up off the ground. And there's tons of videos on the marline spike. That's nothing new, but you know, that's the way you're supposed to hang your pack up off the ground, get your pack up off the ground. That's the way Uncle Dave teaches it, and that's the way. It's really not a bad idea. It's a great idea. That's why I kept doing it. I'm gonna have to get a fire built. It's starting to get cool. We'll have time for that. All right. Move all this stuff out of the way. Now I've never set this thing up. This is the first time playing with it, so bear with me. Before I set this up as a shelter, I wanted you to see it as a poncho. And again, I'll do a separate review on this thing. Really functional. You know, it's not tactical. It's more a functional multi-purpose piece of gear. So it's got a full zip, right? Because it's a shelter. And I'll be honest, I don't know how to set it up as a shelter. We're going to learn together. I haven't even messed with this yet. I've not had time. But we're going to put it up today and sleep under it. What am I thinking? What better way to test a piece of gear, oh there's a snap there, than to actually get out and use it, right? Okay, so it's got like a plow point shape to it. Does it have a tie off on here? No, yeah it does. No, it's got to tie down. So it looks to me like I need to put a tie out up there. So that's the one thing it lacks, is a tie out up here. And it needs a tie out right here. Actually it needs a grommet right there to make a tie out. And that will not compromise. Let me show you how this is made. So, see the hood? It does not have a tie out to tie it out. So they're wanting you to use this with a support, a stick, a staff, whatever. But what I'm thinking is, this is its own little sleeve for the shock cord. So if you were to take and put a grommet here, which I will, then you could have something to tie it off and remove that support. So what I might do is go ahead and punch the hole. Yeah. And see if we can't use a guy line, a ridge line, instead of the pole. But for now, we'll use a pole to get it set up like they want you to set it up. So let's find us a good stick and go from there. So I apologize for the low light. In wintertime, it gets dark early. We're losing daylight, but it's still early in the afternoon or the evening. Feels like afternoon. Now I'm gonna try to get a feel for how tall we want it. So I'm gonna say about right here. This guy volunteered. He's like, yep, make me a volunteer. That is a good axe. I'm gonna round off the edges here. My mooring knife, always a favorite. Love my mooring knives. My Rose Hollow Forge knives. I got some favorites. If you haven't seen my latest knife review video, I can't talk, my mouth's freezing up. If you haven't seen my latest knife review video with Rick and his Bushcraft collection of cutting tools, you need to see that. There we go. Let's round it off. Not bad. Alright. So let's carve up a tent stake or two and go from there. Yeah, it didn't come with tent stakes that I remember. No, it didn't. But, you know, it's considered a poncho. Did you see that? It flew right out of my hand. Alrighty. One more. Here's the back. It's got little, this has little shot cord tie outs. That makes it nice. Now we've got more places to tie it out, so we'll carve some more tent stakes and get at it. I'll let you see it once it's set up. It's starting to look better. Let me bring it around. I'm losing light. I apologize for that. Although on camera it doesn't look too bad. Yeah, we're getting there. So here it is in all its glory. And it still has tie-off points. I wanted to show you these. There's one back here, one here, one over here. So there's still quite a bit. There's one here. So there's still quite a bit of tie-off points that you could really make it more secure, and you can lower it to the ground more. I want to see if this will work. I'm going to try to put a guy line, I keep saying that, a ridge line right here. Run that across and get rid of this pole. If that don't work, I'm going to rig up something here and run it through that. Because I don't like the pole in the middle. You'll have a lot more room without the pole. But I wanted you to see this as I... Where you at? I wanted you to see this as I work on it. You know, it's a work in progress here. It's pretty neat. That's pretty cool stuff. So after you tweak this and work with it and figured it all out, you actually could make this a really good emergency shelter or lightweight shelter. It depends on how rough you want to take it, but it's not bad. Let me show you inside. I don't know if you can tell or not, but I've got my little through night light. It's got the double clip. See the clip? It clips either way. And I'll just clip it onto my hat and use it as a headlamp. This proves pretty handy. I'm trying this instead of my headlamp, my usual headlamp. And of course I've got it on my wazoo cap. Yeah, pretty neat. Alright, so let me show you inside here. So here it is. You know, not a bad little shelter. You can actually zip that door up if you want to, but I'm going to build a small fire and let that heat radiate in there. This is what I was talking about the pole though. See how the pole's kind of in the way? You lose a lot of space with that pole, so we're definitely going to have to rig up a ridge line. Alright, I've got everything situated. I'll give you a look at how it lays. Oh, yeah, not bad. Now it is an emergency shelter. You know, it's got one more tie out right here, but that ain't gonna make a big difference. It's already taut. So I took the center post out, which made a huge difference. So I'm gonna have to lay. You're gonna have to lay in the opening more right here. Yeah. So I'll be sleeping like this tonight. Probably more towards here because I am 5'9" and you barely have enough room. If I go here, I might get some more. There we go. So it's definitely a one-man emergency shelter. It is not designed for comfort. You know, it's bare bones, but for a shelter, I think it's pretty cool. I've been sleeping under the stars lately, not using much of anything, so until it gets really cold, this will do. I mean, for tonight. I wouldn't want to do this in 0 degrees unless you keep the fire going on that. But speaking of fires, let's get a fire going, get ourselves warmed up. And I'm not sure how much kooksa carving I'm going to get in today because, yeah, it has gotten dark really quickly. It's like 6 o'clock. I love trying new stuff out like this, but if you watch my channel, you know how much I enjoy doing this kind of stuff. Alright, so here is our birch bark. Look at that stuff. Isn't that beautiful? So we fuzzed it up. Let's take our Exotect ferro rod and we'll shave some ferrocerium and then strike it. Man, that's good stuff. I like that. That is cool. We got our fire going, hanging out in our shelter. Finally feel some warmth. I want to put my toboggan on. It's starting to drop really quick. It's getting cool. But yeah, doesn't get much better than this. This is nice. I think I'm gonna hang I'll probably set it here. We'll set our lantern up and relax by the fire for a little bit, and then heat our ration, eat a bite before bed. You know, on long nights like this, there's not much to do. Just sit by the fire, relax, and chill out. I think it's time to put on the poncho, the insulated poncho. Now we're talking. This is nice. I was worried I wasn't going to have enough light, but I got plenty of light here from the fire and from my candle lantern. Got a full moon out tonight. Really nice night for this. I mean, I'm super comfortable. I just hated that it's so early, you know, because I feel like I could go to sleep right now, but Lord, if I went to sleep right now, I'd wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning wide awake. So on nights like this, you got to force yourself to stay up. So I'll stay busy chopping firewood and hanging out till it's time to eat. Thanks for coming along. Hope you're enjoying the video. Okay guys, it's time to heat up our food. Open this flameless ration heater. And get our food going. Where's our fill line? There it is. Put our food in. So today we're having spaghetti and meatballs. There we go. Now I know why those come in different sizes. I didn't realize that was such an important thing. Oh, hang on. That's as wide as it goes. Okay. So, let's fill her up. Well, I can't really see what I'm doing. There we go. That's right. So the MRE didn't heat very well. The heater worked, but barely. So it was either old and bad, or maybe I put too much water in it. Man, we've had a lot of planes today. But I've waited long enough. It's warm. It's not hot. I'm gonna go ahead and eat it. It's not cold, but it's not hot. And our fire's dying down. Let's go ahead and eat. Let's tear it open. This is the last one of the, and that ration heater, that wasn't all MRE's fault. That smells good. That was my fault. That was an old ration heater I'd had. Oh, look at that. Let's put a little Tabasco in there. It smells good. Kind of smells like ravioli. You know, like Chef Boyardee or something like that. So I'm sure this is not going to be delicious, nor is it going to be healthy. But, yeah, that's part of the fun of it, isn't it? Put a little Tabasco in there. So you can get any in there. Yeah. All right, here goes nothing. Not bad. Tastes like an MRE, but it's not bad. A chunk of tomato there. I've had worse. All right, so I'm gonna eat, and then we'll say goodnight after that. How much battery? I got plenty of battery left. Well, finally, it's gotten late enough for me to go to bed. So I'm going to call tonight, and I'll see you guys in the morning. I don't want to get up. I didn't sleep much last night. So those of you that do what we do know how long some of these nights can get, but it's worth it in the end. Sun's coming up. I must get up too. I got tons of stuff to do today. Yep, another glorious night in the woods playing Survivor Man. Oh, it's fun though. I gotta get some hand warmers. Oh, man, put my gloves on. Oh gosh. I don't mind telling you. I am freezing. Let's go. Ooh, those are cold. Those aren't insulated, they're just work gloves. Whew. Alright, so I promised you I'd give you a shot of camp. So there is the shelter itself. As you can see, a lot of it has fallen. And I even tried to adjust the guy line on this one point and bring it out a little bit. There's the back side of it. Not bad. I mean, for an emergency shelter, it'd do great. Alright, so I hate to call this, I hate to cut this short, but I've got things to do this morning. I'm going to go volunteer at church, so I got to get out here early. So I'm probably not going to have time for coffee. But I'm going to eat some pound cake and pack up and get out of here. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. We'll see you next time. I didn't get to do anything on the kooksa. It's too dark and it's too cold this morning. I don't have time. So maybe on another video we'll do some more with this, or maybe on my Instagram I'll do a little video on kooksa carving.